The truth that few dare to admit is that the world doesn't reward the hardest workers. It rewards the most strategic ones. While many people spend years working tirelessly without making real progress, others, with seemingly less effort, rise to the top. Why? Because they understand the invisible rules of power, the ones never taught in school but that govern every human interaction. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract success and influence effortlessly, while others struggle in vain? The answer lies in the psychology of power, principles used by leaders, magnates, and strategists throughout history to shape the world in their favor. These rules aren't about cheap manipulation, but about understanding how people truly think and react. In this video, you will discover 16 psychological laws of power that can completely change how you navigate the world. Some will challenge everything you thought was right, while others will explain why certain strategies always work. But one thing is certain: once you learn these, you will never see the world the same way again. Stand out from the crowd. Working hard isn't enough. The world is full of people giving their all every day and still remaining invisible. So, what sets those who gain power apart from those who stay stagnant? Visibility. You need more than just effort. You need to create a presence that gets noticed, develop skills that no one else has, and position yourself as indispensable. Imagine a workplace where everyone delivers good results, but only one person has the courage to take initiative, suggest changes, and solve problems that no one else wants to face. That's the person who becomes a reference point. To stand out, competence alone isn't enough. You must be seen. Elon Musk didn't become one of the most influential figures simply because of his knowledge in technology. He built a powerful narrative around his vision of the future. The same applies to anyone who wants to build power. Want to be remembered? Speak in public, build a strong digital presence, develop a unique specialization, and always be where decisions are made. The world rewards those who make themselves noticeable. But be careful. Standing out doesn't mean exposing yourself without strategy. And this leads us to a crucial principle: hide your intentions. Revealing your intentions too soon is like handing over a treasure map before you even start digging. When people know exactly what you want, they can block your path, use that information against you, or simply undervalue you. The most skilled strategists never reveal all their cards. Think of chess masters. They don't announce their plans, but make subtle moves that lead their opponent exactly where they want. In real life, this means that in negotiations, for example, you should never show desperation for an opportunity. If an employer senses that you would accept any salary, they will never offer you the highest possible pay. In relationships, being overly available can lower your perceived value. The key is to act naturally, always keeping a slight air of mystery around your objectives. But be careful. Hiding your intentions doesn't mean being deceitful. It means being strategic. And the best way to influence without saying much is through action. Actions speak louder than arguments. Words can be persuasive, but actions are undeniable. You can spend hours trying to convince someone that you are competent, trustworthy, or visionary, but a single well-executed action communicates that message unmistakably. The world values results, not just promises. Think of Steve Jobs. He didn't need to repeatedly explain that Apple was innovative. He simply showed the world products that revolutionized the market. The same principle applies to anyone wanting to build influence. Instead of saying you're dedicated, prove it by showing up early and staying late. Instead of promising that you have a brilliant plan, implement something small that already makes an impact. An investor, for example, doesn't invest in promises, but in companies that have already demonstrated market potential. In the end, those who take action control the narrative, while those who only talk remain stuck in speculation. And when it comes to making an impact, controlling what you say is just as crucial. Control your words. Talking too much opens the door to being misinterpreted, manipulated, or undervalued. Those who master strategic silence control conversations. Powerful people choose their words carefully because they know that every word carries weight. Just observe great leaders. They don't waste speeches on unnecessary explanations. They speak with precision, making every sentence impactful. The less you say, the more others will listen when you do speak. Moreover, speaking less prevents mistakes. How many opportunities have been lost because someone revealed details too soon or made an impulsive comment? Warren Buffett is known for his discretion. He only speaks when he has something truly valuable to say, and this strengthens his authority. In practice, whether in meetings, on social media, or in negotiations, being direct and selective with your words commands more respect than long, empty speeches. And speaking of respect, nothing strengthens your presence more than confidence. Cultivate confidence. Confidence isn't just a feeling, it's a powerful tool of influence. Confident people are seen as more competent, more attractive, and more worthy of leadership. However, confidence doesn't come only from success. It is forged in how you handle failures. Those who crumble easily lose the respect of others. Think of great athletes. They fail, they lose, but they continue to carry themselves like champions. The key isn't to never fail, but to respond to failure with resilience. To cultivate confidence, adopt a strong posture, speak with conviction, and never ask for permission to take up space. Jeff Bezos didn't start Amazon waiting for everyone to believe in him. He acted as if his vision was already a reality. And if you think confidence is something you're born with, think again. It can be trained. Master your field, maintain strong body language, and see challenges as opportunities for growth. But remember, blindly trusting friends can be a strategic mistake. Hire your enemies. It may sound counterintuitive, but there is more security in working with former adversaries than blindly trusting friends. The logic is simple. Friends expect favors, can become complacent, and sometimes betray you when you least expect it. Meanwhile, enemies, when given an opportunity, have much more to prove. Napoleon understood this and often brought defeated generals to his side because they fought the hardest to redeem themselves. In business and politics, this strategy is used all the time. Abraham Lincoln appointed his rivals to key positions, securing loyalty where there was once opposition. In everyday life, this means not automatically discarding those who once disagreed with you. A strong competitor can become a valuable ally. And if you want to persuade someone to do something, remember, people rarely act out of kindness but always act out of self-interest. People are self-interested. Most people act based on their own benefit. This doesn't mean they are bad. It simply means their decisions are guided by what they gain in return. Trying to convince someone by appealing to morality or a sense of duty rarely works. Instead, frame your requests in a way that highlights the advantages for the other person. Henry Ford didn't convince investors by talking about his passion for cars. He showed them how they could profit from mass production. If you want something from someone, show them what they will gain by helping you. In a negotiation, instead of asking for a raise because you work hard, demonstrate how your performance has increased the company's profits. If you want someone to support a project, highlight the benefits they will receive. Those who understand this dynamic never rely on the generosity of others. And more importantly, never commit to anything without a clear return. Avoid commitments. Commitments may seem like promises of stability, but in reality, they are traps that limit your freedom of action. When you tie yourself to something or someone unnecessarily, you lose the ability to react to better opportunities. Great strategists always keep room for maneuvering. Napoleon, for instance, avoided rigid alliances. He used them while they were useful and discarded them when they no longer served his advantage. This translates into not accepting commitments or partnerships that lock you in for the long term without clear benefits. In your personal life, it means not taking on obligations that drain your energy without providing real returns. The secret to power lies in flexibility. Those who can shift positions quickly always have the upper hand. And one of the subtlest ways to maintain this flexibility is by making others feel intelligent around you. Downplay yourself strategically. Making others feel smart in your presence is one of the most underrated weapons of power. No one likes to feel inferior, and those who make others look foolish often provoke resentment. Great leaders and negotiators understand this and use a simple trick. Instead of constantly displaying superiority, they allow others to shine. Albert Einstein himself, despite being a genius, was a master at praising others' ideas to win allies. This means avoiding public corrections, giving people space to express their ideas, and even pretending to learn something new, even when you already know it. In a company, a boss who makes their team feel valued earns loyalty, One who humiliates them creates enemies. Power is all about perception, and knowing how to shape how others see you is one of the secrets to influence. But none of this matters if you don't know how to support those who truly hold power. Support your superiors. Powerful people don't surround themselves with just anyone. They keep those who help them grow. If you want to move forward, you need to make sure those above you see value in keeping you around. Napoleon promoted countless soldiers into his inner circle because they understood one simple rule: helping the leader means being rewarded with power. This isn't flattery, it's strategy. The more indispensable you become to your superiors, the harder it will be for them to ignore you. Anticipating problems, bringing solutions, and making the lives of powerful people easier is the key to this principle. If your boss needs something, deliver it before they even ask. If an influential entrepreneur is looking for support on a project, be the first to step up. Opportunities rarely appear out of nowhere. They are seized by those who position themselves strategically. But remember, none of this works if you scatter your energy and stay focused. True power doesn't come from doing many things at once, but from mastering a single area with excellence. The mistake most people make is trying to be good at everything and ending up average in all fields. The greatest figures in history, from Leonardo da Vinci to Elon Musk, became giants because they concentrated their energy on building something extraordinary. The world doesn't reward dispersion, it rewards specialization. Whether in your career, business, or personal development, choosing a clear path and pursuing it to mastery is the most reliable way to stand out. If you want to be seen as an authority, dedicate yourself to a single field until you become irreplaceable. Instead of trying to learn 10 skills at once, focus on one that truly makes a difference and master it completely. But it's not enough to just be good. You must appear effortlessly brilliant. Make it look easy. The key difference between those who command respect and those who seem ordinary is how they execute their actions. Those who constantly struggle against the tide project insecurity, while those who make difficult things look easy stand out instantly. Think of elite athletes. A top-tier player doesn't show excessive effort. They make it look like they were born for it. This illusion of natural ability creates an irresistible magnetism. So avoid showing desperation, anxiety, or hesitation when facing challenges. If you have mastered a skill, perform it with fluidity and without unnecessary emphasis. In a presentation, for example, the key isn't just in the content, but in the confidence with which you deliver it. Even a beginner investor can appear experienced if they project confidence when presenting their arguments. And speaking of standing out, there's an even more strategic approach: positioning yourself where others have failed. The shadow of the giant. Trying to outshine a legend is a risky move, but succeeding someone who has failed can be the perfect strategy. When you step in after a disaster, any improvement will seem extraordinary. Great leaders understand this dynamic. After political or corporate crises, those who take control and restore order are seen as visionaries, even if they're only doing the basics. Winston Churchill, for instance, stood out during wartime because his predecessors had failed to prevent the conflict. You must choose your moments strategically. If a market is saturated, entering it now might be a mistake. But if a company has just collapsed, stepping in could be a unique opportunity. Similarly, if a project has failed under previous leadership, being the next in line gives you a psychological advantage. In the game of power, context is just as important as competence. And nothing destroys your position more than losing emotional control. Control your anger. Anger is one of the most treacherous emotions for those seeking power. In the heat of the moment, it makes impulsive actions seem like the best choice, but it almost always leads to disastrous decisions. People who can't control their emotions become predictable, easy to manipulate, and, worst of all, vulnerable to external attacks. A true strategist never reacts with rage. They observe, calculate, and respond with cold precision. Great leaders like Nelson Mandela faced extreme challenges, but never let anger control them. Make training patience and emotional discipline a personal goal. If someone provokes you, reacting immediately can be a mistake. Many times, silence is more unsettling than words. In negotiations, showing a lack of control gives power to the other side. If a competitor wants you to react, The biggest blow you can deliver is acting as if they are irrelevant. And to maintain total control, there is an even more powerful tool: flawless time management. Master time. The most powerful people don't chase time. They shape it to their advantage. Those who act in haste project desperation, while those who know how to wait exude absolute control. Think of the world's greatest negotiators. They never accept the first offer because they understand that patience wears down the other side. Warren Buffett, for example, only invests when the market is in panic. He waits for the right moment while others act on impulse. In everyday life, this means avoiding rushed decisions, not responding immediately under pressure, and using time as a tool of influence. If someone demands an urgent answer, pause. The tension of silence can shift the game in your favor. In interviews, speeches, or negotiations, the person who controls the pace of the conversation controls the outcome. And when it comes to building power, knowing where to invest your energy makes all the difference. Calculated value. Power isn't built through waste. It's built through strategic investments. Those who understand this never spend energy, money, or influence without a clear purpose. Instead of looking for cheap shortcuts, the world's great conquerors know that some things are worth every penny. Rolex didn't become a status symbol just because it tells time, but because its price and exclusivity create a perception of value that attracts the powerful. High-quality knowledge, appearance, networking, and experience are assets that bring exponential returns. If you want respect, invest in clothes that command authority. If you seek recognition, pay for courses or mentors that accelerate your growth. Cheap thinking leads to expensive mistakes in the game of power, and those who cut corners on what truly matters never go far. Now the real question is, how will you apply them to transform your life? What will you do next? Most people ignore these rules and continue living on autopilot, expecting that hard work alone will be enough. But strategists, the ones who truly shape the world to their advantage, apply these laws daily to ensure they are never at the mercy of chance. So, take a look at your own life. Where have you been wasting power? Are you committing too much? Talking more than you should? Underestimating the importance of time and perception? Change begins the moment you decide to play the game of power consciously. Choose one of these principles and apply it today. You'll be surprised at the results. If this content resonated with you, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here, you'll learn the strategies that few dare to reveal, but make all the difference between being led and leading.